Hey, yo, what up, YouTube? It's YT Wake 'em Up, back at it again with another video. This one right here is about inflation. Another inflation video, y'all. As we know, clear as day, we are living through a different economy than we were just a few years ago. Everything is more expensive. Inflation is taking a toll on everybody's pockets. People that was up, not up no more. People that had money, don't have it no more. And if you were considered middle class just a few years ago, now you're not considered middle class no more. Middle class is now $184,000. That's considered middle class. It was just $150 like a couple months ago. It was $150,000. Now it's up to $184,000. It used to be anything above $32,000 per year was considered middle class. So you see, this economy has changed very quickly. The switch has been flipped. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. The reset is upon us, y'all. With this being said, man, y'all know how we do on this channel. We got a couple of rules. First of all, I need everybody to thumbs up this video so that the algorithm can push this content out to new viewers. That always throw me off. The next thing that I need you to do, if you are brand new to this channel, smash subscribe, because you know you want to see more of these videos. With that being said, y'all, let's get into it. POV, our generation has it much harder. Okay. Let them know. I
don't care what nobody say. This generation has it way harder than any other generation. And old people, I love y'all, but y'all are lost if y'all really think it's even remotely the same. Let's just start with the job market. How you're not competing with the next man anymore. You're competing with AI and all this other technology. And on top of that, the degree that you spent 4 years and went thousands of dollars in debt to get is not even as valuable as it used to be. You will literally graduate, go look for a job in your career field, and they still want a minimum of 10 years experience for an entry-level position.
That boy preaching. Hey, we just got to pause it right there. Don't let all of that go over your head. Competing with AI. People have degrees that don't really promise them a job no more. They also have all of that debt that they have to pay back. They're also dealing with a crisis in the job market, you know, mass layoffs. It's just a different economy, man. The boomers and the older generations lived through the golden times, for real. The best times that you could really just, y'all lived through the greatest times to build wealth in America. This is the transfer of wealth. The wealth is now being transferred from middle class to the rich. The gap is widening. Rich gets richer, middle class becomes poor, and the poor, they get poorer or remain just as poor. If you're poor, period.
We can talk about the housing market and how buying a house right now is probably the worst financial decision you can make. Please don't come talking to me about how you bought your house 10 years ago and you're proud of your 2.5% interest rate. Because we could talk about how prices of homes have doubled in the past 4 years alone and how interest rates are sitting between 7 and 7.5% right now, which forces you to do what? Rent. And guess what? Rent is also at the highest it's ever been right now. We ain't even finna talk about everything else that's expensive, from groceries, gas, car insurance. My haircut is even $50. And on top of that, the government's still taxing everybody like none of this is going on.
All facts, no lies here. My haircut, $50. That's what I pay. And y'all see, I got dreads. Just for me to get the side and the back tapered and for them to do my facial hair, that's $50. I remember haircuts used to be 10, 20. Once it got past 25, I knew it was over. The dollar is not the same. It's not worth the same amount that it once was. Inflation is here. Yeah, it's real out here, man. It's real out here. Don't take none of this lightly. This is what everybody's living through right now. The worst times to be alive. Why Gen Z and millennials are struggling today. Housing, college, daycare.
We got to cut the millennials and Gen Z some slack because this isn't ordinary. They are moving the goalposts so quickly on the middle class because of the housing. Even that slide you just brought up, someone making $77,000 cannot qualify for a $400,000 home. That's the first time that's ever happened in the past 50 years. So they're being forced to rent. It's eating up 50% of their income.
50+% say we're in a recession. 58% say the economy is getting worse. It's not. By all objective measures, it's getting better. People keep feeling worse. Why is that?
I think it depends on the age age, because I think we're kind of living in two separate economies, if you will. Because if you're somebody who's over 60 years old, if you have a $400,000 home and you have just property taxes and homeowners insurance for $600 a month, that is significantly better than a millennial or Gen Z or spending $2,500 for rent or $3,600 for a mortgage. So I think people under 40 are really feeling the stress about the economy, saying it's not good because housing's up, college is up, daycare is through the roof. But I think people over 60 who sit back and go, my 401k is looking good, my house went up 40%, the economy's doing well, groceries are high, but we can deal. So I think it just depends on the age, because the millennials and Gen Zs are the ones really struggling.
I feel like this was the most honest and informative video when it comes down to inflation. This was the most transparent. It brings us to reality, right? People are living in two separate worlds. We have people that were able to take advantage of low interest rates, get a mortgage that's like $600 per month. That cannot be compared to paying $2,500 a month for rent, $3,600 a month for rent. Hands down, you got a better deal. You cannot compare that. If you had to pay that, you would be in a different financial situation. Housing alone. Housing is 50% of everybody's income at this point in time. It's never been like this before. It hasn't. So I feel like the boomers really need to just come back into reality. Clear as day, we are living through the worst times that we ever have, and middle class is being eradicated. The gap is widening. This used to be considered a conspiracy, but now it's clear as day that this is happening. This is real. Middle class is being eradicated. Anything above $32,000 per year used to be middle class. Now it's $184,000. We can see this taking place. We see the reset taking place. Let's just agree on that. This one is titled Life Shouldn't Be This Hard. Let's see how hard our life is and why she feels like life shouldn't be this hard.
How am I this fucking broke? I live in a fucking trailer. My one and only car is 6 years old. I work 2 jobs over 40 hours a week. One that pays me $21 an hour. The other pays me $23 an hour. My husband works a full-time job at $18 an hour. And for those of you who can't do the math, that's $84,000 a year. So why is life so fucking hard?
Now, remember the good old days when if you made $18 an hour or $21, $23 an hour, that was considered good. These days, that's considered poor. $84,000 is a lot of money. Let's be real. If somebody just gave you $84,000, that would change your life. You'll feel good. You'll be walking around with it, counting it, thumbing through it. Let's be real. Let's be real. But I feel like we've been desensitized to money at this point because it's always going out. It's always going into somebody else's hands. That person feeling good, flexing it. The person hands that it's going into. This the landlord. This the car dealer. You know? But I said that to say, like, prices are so high at this point in time that $84,000 is not a lot of money no more, but it used to be. Middle class is now $184,000. I'm going to keep knocking that and nailing that into everybody's head. So that seemed like a lot, but people making $84,000 per year are still struggling. People making $150,000 per year are still struggling. We are feeling the effects of inflation, stagflation, greedflation, all of these different things. We feeling it for sure.
Why was my grocery bill that I just placed $450? Life should not be this fucking hard. It doesn't make sense to me that it's this hard. I don't get it, and I'm exhausted because I'm constantly juggling my fucking bills from day to day just to survive, but I don't think I'm surviving anymore. I'm drowning in the amount of fucking bills that I have, and this stupid system is so fucking rigged that every day I'm getting deeper into debt just for fucking being alive. And I know this isn't my normal content. This has very little to do with being an author. But you know what? I feel like sometimes I have to give up that dream because I literally cannot afford to do it. I also can't afford to make my house repairs or to replace my appliances or to take care of my fucking car to get me to my fucking job that keeps me fucking broke. I'm so fucking tired, and I sometimes feel like the only way to get out of this fucking nightmare is if I win the lottery. Like, that shouldn't be the only option.
Now, she had me. She was on a roll. Every single American, I feel like, can relate to this lady right here. It's tiring. It's draining. Just being consistently worked to death to get nowhere. To just be stagnant and not progress at all. Not feel happy in life and just live a life of fulfillment. not being able to do that is draining, right? But when people say if I could just win the lottery, that's the first thing they think of. That just blow me. But I feel you though. If you just stumbled upon a large lump sum of money, that would be life changing. They say that money don't make you happy, but it definitely does, because it'll change your financial situation, and that will bring happiness, not having that weight on your shoulders.
That, or get terribly mangled somehow in an accident so I can sue somebody. That should also not be the only option to get out of this, but sometimes that's all it feels like there is. And honestly, I have an associate's degree. I am well on my way to my bachelor's degree. So why is life so fucking hard? Because it shouldn't be. It should not be this hard. And I'm so fucking tired.
Life is so hard because people followed the system that was designed for you to fail. Now listen, if you made it to the end of this video, drop a comment and let me know, how do you feel about inflation? Is it taking a toll on your pockets? Be real though, be real. Keep it 1,000. Are you feeling the effects of inflation? How has it changed your life? Is there anything you had to stop buying or get rid of? Are there any changes you had to make in order to be okay out here compared to how you were living a couple years ago? Another thing, if y'all like the new setup and how these videos look compared to how my previous videos were looking, drop that in the comments too. With that being said, y'all, it's YT Wake 'em Up, and I am out.